Hey guys, it's Kingdom Orange 2 here, and welcome back to my channel. I told you guys that I was gonna make a part 2 for Winx Club because that video was already so long. So today I chose some more characters from Winx that I thought would be fun to rank their voices. And just like before, I will also include actors from Fate the Winx saga as well. Now without further ado, let's fly right into it. Roxy. Number 3 is Susie Myers.
Rounding up digmoles is easy. The little gluttons will follow food anywhere. No, it's something much worse. A dangerous, magical force. Oh, you got here just in time. More animals are in danger.
I really have no problem with Susie's voice. It's definitely the most mature sounding out of all 3 of them, and I think the voice suits Roxy better in her later seasons because I believe by season 7, Roxy would be about like 19 years old, even though Rainbow likes to pretend she's a background character who's never grown up. Number 2 is Liliana Mummy.
Don't worry, headmistress. We'll get you back to normal. This is crazy. I must be seeing things. I'm not a fairy. Fairies don't exist. What? Just a dog? Just a dog?
Liliana's voice is very young sounding, which isn't really a problem because Roxy is supposed to be this scared, naive 16-year-old. I believe Liliana was around 18 years old when she voiced Roxy, and when I look back to how high-pitched Selena and Miley's voices sounded when they were like 14 to 16, I don't think Liliana's voice is abnormal sounding. Number 1 is Sarah Camacho.
When the threat from the wizards is over, I want to go back to my old life. Being a fairy takes too much responsibility.
This is crazy. I must be seeing things. I'm not a fairy. Fairies don't exist. There's no such thing.
What? Just a dog? Just a dog?
So Sarah's voice is very similar to Liliana's as they were both really high-pitched and young sounding. However, when I place their scenes next to each other, I realized that Sarah just does a better job showing emotion, so I ranked her higher. Icy. Number 5 is Lisa Ortiz.
Now we're gonna need some major conjuring if we're gonna have a hope of making Miss Homely pretty enough to shatter Stella's dream.
Besides, the dragon fire should be ours. Our coven earned the right to have it.
That's humiliating, but fortunately I'm here, and I'm not ticklish at all.
Lisa's voice definitely stands out amongst Icy's other voices. I just don't like how deep it is, and she makes Icy sound like her nose is clogged. It's not necessarily a bad voice, but it's my least favorite. Number 4 is Erica Schroeder.
Totems are the work of the witch. They're symbols of her dark power.
Oh yes, but don't worry. After today, we'll get to miss you forever.
Forgive me, Sapphire. I was forced to come back to Diamond, but I'm not ready yet.
I don't really have any complaints about Erica's voice. It makes Icy sound evil, sassy, and threatening. I think for me though, again, it's just not as good as her other voices are. Number 3 is Karen Strassman.
This is the heart of the magic dimension. It keeps the balance between positive and negative energy.
Is there really a way to become more powerful than try tennis?
That pollen is the source of life, so it can't die. Tell us, where did you hide the tree of life's magic pollen?
Okay, so Karen's voice is going straight to the middle because the voice she does for the first 2 movies is good, but too high-pitched. And then in the 3rd movie, it's also good, but it's too low-pitched. Honestly, I was convinced it was maybe 2 different voice actresses, but I couldn't find any evidence that that was the case. So in the middle, Karen will go. Number 2 is Larissa Oleynik.
Welcome to my kingdom, the domain of the Snow Queen.
What do you say we put this puppy love behind us and show these little pests a thing or two? Pixie Village. How quaint. I think I'll destroy it.
I like how Larissa's voice is kind of sassy and kind of seductive. I think the one thing that keeps her from being the top spot is that she can come across a bit whiny sounding, especially in the 5th season. The way she spoke to Tritanus and would yell his name was honestly one of the most annoying sounds of all time. Number 1 is Eleanor Noble.
What do you say we break out of this popsicle stand together, Valtor?
You should know, my dear, that our 3 ancestors went so far as to destroy Domino in order to get it.
I just wanted to say that we shouldn't let a dumb guy thing ruin our friendship.
Eleanor's voice is the best. I think it's sassy, it's intimidating, but at the same time, it's not too deep or too high and works well for Icy's age. Now, I am also convinced that there was another voice actress for season 1 because her voice does sound a bit different in the clips I played for you, but I can't find any proof for that case, so I guess we'll never know. Darcy. Number 5 is Erin Fitzgerald.
The negative and the positive. Ow! It burned me! Are you sure about this? It's a very powerful spell, and we—
Let's see how you manage now, champion. That's if your Tritanus doesn't get in the way.
I usually love Erin Fitzgerald. She's really an amazing voice actress, but her voice here is just way too high-pitched for Darcy. She probably would have sounded fine if she just made her voice a bit deeper. Number 4 is Lori Gardner.
Thanks, Riven. Now that you're here, things are gonna get really fun.
Although we remained in prison for so long in the Dimension of Legends.
Yes, Stormy. And I was wrong. Little Musa found the star for us.
I don't have a lot of thoughts to Lori's voice. It sounds alright. Part of me wonders if this has to do with the horrible microphones that Duarte seems to use, because the quality of audio is always bad sounding. But other than that, her Darcy voice is just passable, I guess. Number 3 is Karen Manuel.
Well, there's no formal arrangement, sweetie. All you have to do is agree that you'll be mine. I'm selling jewelry to raise funds for the Gypsy Scouts. This piece attracts love and relationship luck.
At least long enough to teach these little bugs to respect those bigger than they are.
I don't know why people are obsessed with this voice, because I think she sounds really old. But I would agree that her sinister and deep voice kind of works for Darcy, and since I like how it has a bit of personality to it, I ranked it higher than Lori's. Number 2 is Jennifer Cody.
If you want it, you can find me in the Legendarium world.
Those things use their noses.
This'll fix them. It is now. What do you say we get together and teach those pixies a lesson?
Jennifer does a great job with making Darcy sound intimidating and seductive. Her voice is also very versatile, which I'm not really sure how to explain, but Jennifer can really over-exaggerate Darcy's draw when she wants to, or bring it down. She also has a lot of personality to her voice, but in a good way, not in an annoying way. Number 1 is Carrie Finlay.
Counterweight is pretty heavy, so the stone looks like the logical choice, but that's too obvious. Then it must be its opposite. Oh, I'm just someone who sells jewelry. As a matter of fact, I have just the thing to win the favor of a young lady. It is now! And since we're together again, let's teach those pixies a lesson!
Now, unlike a lot of Darcy's other voice actors, I don't think Carrie's voice is super unique or has a lot of personality to it. But in a lot of cases, I don't think a character needs to have that. I think what also makes Carrie's voice better than the others on this list is that she's able to make Darcy sound like a mean girl and be intimidating, but not sound too old for her. I don't know, maybe a lot of it's nostalgia talking, but I honestly just love her voice. Stormy. Number 7 is Reba Burr.
Of course. The infinite ocean is linked with all the oceans of magics. It's the perfect chance to exploit their foolishness.
Dare you call us girls? Can a girl do this?
Forget it. She's too powerful.
I don't really hate Reba's voice. I think the issue here was Stormy has a lot of great voices, and hers just happens to be the weakest of the bunch. Number 6 is Anique Materne.
Maybe you need to get some new spells and, bulk up? Ah, you're so cute today. It's so nice to have friends like you.
Yeah, I can't wait to destroy Bloom. Valtor would be so proud of us.
Anique's voice is actually pretty good, but the problem I have with it here is that Stormy is supposed to be the youngest and most naive out of the tricks, and Anique makes her sound kinda old. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like Anique's voice would fit Stormy if you didn't know anything about Stormy's personality and just based it off her looks. Number 5 is Susie Myers.
Oh, that has to be the single most disgusting ward ever!
Oh, I'm gonna bring more than that. See, I'm wearing Lord Darkar's Gloomix. I can't wait to wipe the smug smirks off those fairies' faces.
I get that Stormy is supposed to be the youngest and most aggressive one, but the growl that Susie does in her voice can be a bit much at times. I do love a voice with personality to it, but this is another case of just too much personality. Number 4 is Sadie Savral.
Your fault for spreading it around that she's a changeling. She's now the most interesting person at school.
So you're going to help him by making him feel bad about himself? A well-intentioned bully?
No, your shoes are embarrassing. Stalking's pathetic.
was in a tough position on where to rank her because Beatrix really has nothing in common with Stormy except for being kinda evil and having the power over electricity. She actually acts a bit more like Darcy, but I do really like Sadie's performance overall. She's secretive, mischievous, and a bit intimidating, and it's a shame they killed her off at the end of the second season. Number 3 is Sarah Mikolu.
I can even see the prints of her fingers. Does it hurt? Think you can overpower my control of the clouds with a ridiculous rain dance?
Whoa, that dude got sentenced to eternity. He must have done something bad.
I hated Sarah's voice for Musa, but I really like her voice for Stormy. It's young sounding, she comes across a bit intimidating, and it's kinda sinister. Number 2 is Zoe Martin.
We'll let the Winx do all the work for us. Then we'll take the prime star from them when they least expect it. 3 fairies in one fell swoop. It's my lucky day. I can come and go whenever I want.
I think Zoe does a great job with capturing Stormy's sassy energy while at the same time making her bratty and youthful sounding. I guess the only thing that would be kinda weird is that Stormy would be at least 23 years old by now, and she still sounds really young. Number 1 is Kimberly Brooks.
The weather is mine to command without limit. She'll be stuck in the Legendarium world forever. Put me in there. I'll make sure she never leaves.
Yeah, just wait till I get to Bloom. She won't know what hit her.
Kimberly's voice perfectly fits Stormy. It's youthful sounding and can be serious when it needs to be, but not all of the time. I also think Kimberly has an amazing range with creating many different emotions for Stormy, so I honestly just really love her voice. Faragonda. Number 6 is Rachel Lillis.
Hold on, it took a lot of courage for her to speak up as she did. I think that we should give her a chance. Each of you is unique. You all have different sources of power and diverse origins. I must say it reminds me of the days when you were a senior hero at Red Fountain and I was a freshman at Althea.
I think Rachel was trying to make Faragonda sound like a silly British fairy godmother, but that's not really who Faragonda is, so she's at the bottom of the list. Number 5 is Mary Devon.
If the tricks have sealed all the portals into the infinite ocean, as I believe they have, there's one they probably didn't close.
May all of you students do your very best.
Now is the time for you to finally accept the invitation you've been avoiding for all these long, dark years.
I don't really have much to say about Mary's voice. I've listened to it over and over again, and I just really find it kind of boring. Number 4 is Erica Schroeder.
I'm very disappointed, Winx. You are the best fairies in Althea.
I can see that. They can go inside and get ready together with the others.
The witches threaten the heart of Althea, the place where the school's magical source is kept.
I understand that Faragonda is like over 100 years old, but I don't think Faragonda needs to sound like a shaky grandmother, and Erica added this quiver to her voice, which really kind of annoys me. Number 3 is Eve Best.
The world is a better place without Rosalind Hale. That's an objective truth. Remember your intent. You control the light. I am the headmistress of Althea.
I think Eve makes a great Faragonda. She has this very serious tone to her voice, which works really well as Bloom's mentor and the leader of Althea. I also like how Eve is a bit younger than what age Faragonda is supposed to technically physically resemble, because I always envision Faragonda to sound like someone in her 50s or early 60s. Number 2 is Unknown.
Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate your concern for me and for the school.
Okay, enough with the boring stuff. Feel free to explore your surroundings, but be very careful.
Headmaster Saladin, what could be so important that you simply had to pay me a visit in the middle of the night?
So I couldn't find any information on who this voice actress was, but what I like about her Faragonda is that she makes her sound very wise, but not very old. Number 1 is Carrie Walgreen.
The Lilo plant is very powerful, and like many magical things, could be used for good or evil.
In his underground castle, I am counting on you, Winx and Specialists, to rescue her.
It was meant to be a secret. Anniversaries make me feel old.
So Carrie's voice is similar to the voice actress below her. She makes Faragonda also sound very wise and not super old. But what I think Carrie does a bit of a better job on is not sounding as robotic and being a bit more dramatic when she talks. Daphne. Number 4 is Leslie Carls.
To recover your powers, look deep inside yourself. That's how a princess should talk.
I'm proud of you, Bloom. We meet at last, my precious little angel.
I don't think Leslie's voice fits Daphne at all. She's way too dry sounding, and I kind of feel like they didn't know who they wanted to voice Daphne, so they just kind of asked Tecna's voice actress to do it. I don't know, it's just really awkward and doesn't fit her at all. Number 3 is unknown.
Bloom, my dear sweet sister, it is so good to see your face again.
How about some good news? You do have some good news, right?
But all that matters now is that you're free, and it's all thanks to my sister Bloom.
So I like how this voice actress makes Daphne mysterious and ethereal, but I feel like it sounds a bit too old for Daphne. I know all of Daphne's voices are supposed to sound more mature, but I wish she would have made her voice sound a bit softer. Number 2 is Erica Schroeder.
Now, Bloom, your journey is over. You have arrived. You will get the Dragonfire back. It belongs to you. It is your destiny. The time has come. You must begin your journey.
Okay, so we've already had Erica like 2 other times on this list, and I really think everything that the unknown voice actress did, Erica did as well. The only thing I liked a little bit better about Erica's voice is she sounds a bit younger, but honestly, I would have probably ranked their voices equally if I could have. Number 1 is Elizabeth Gillies.
He seeks the seals from the Pillar of Balance and the Pillar of Control.
Bloom, Politia. You must find Politia before the tricks do.
I'm so happy to be home again, and I can't wait to get to know all of you.
I know Nickelodeon just chose a lot of Nick stars for Winx to make people watch the show, and in the beginning, I don't think Liz did that great of a job. It came across a bit forced and like she was trying too hard to sound like a ghost, but over time, I think she really grew into the role and made a great Daphne. Valtor. Number 5 is Anna Hardwick.
Got a few duds at first. Weak like fairy. Sad little water fairy. I've got trust issues. Go outside.
I'm sure Anna is a nice guy, but Valtor is this sexy, confident, mysterious man. Not some guy with a baseball cap and a super thick Irish accent. And I'm not saying you can't be Irish and sexy, but this isn't it. Even though it was supposed to be a surprise that Sebastian was a blood witch, I think they made a mistake with this casting. Number 4 is Sean Schemmel.
Deja vu is what's upsetting me, witches. The fairies and the heroes and the Cloud Tower witches are allied once again. And I'm here as an old and nearly forgotten courtesy to warn you to stay out of my way. Maybe all we need to do is level the playing field and give you ladies your own new power.
I think Sean's voice is just too deep and theatrical sounding. I don't know if this is just me, but he kind of sounds like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Number 3 is Henry F. Benjamin.
It won't be long before I, Valtor, become the most powerful sorcerer in the magic universe. Think carefully. Who would want Durana's throne so much? Because of my infinite generosity, I see. What else?
Henry's voice is higher than Sean's, so it works a tad better. It's also more natural sounding, but it doesn't really have as much personality to it as Valtor's other voices do. It's kind of mediocre, but it's not bad, so I put it in the middle. Number 2 is Cedric Cool.
You really want to know what bothers me? The close alliance between the Winx and the Specialists. I want to be the supreme sorcerer of the magic dimension, and I'm warning you to stay out of my way. Antix's energy the Winx possess is too strong. Your powers cannot compare to theirs now.
Cedric's voice is deep, seductive, and intimidating. I would say it's the best, but there's one person who does a bit of a better job than he does. At number 1, we have Josh Keaton.
If you really wanted to help me, you would have taken the spells from Althea's library. I'm going to be the supreme sorcerer of the magic dimension, and you're either with me or against me. Don't worry, I understand completely. The Winx Enchantix's power is far greater than any you possess.
I think Josh's voice hits all of the same points as Cedric's. What makes it better though is it's still seductive and intimidating, but just not as harsh and raspy as Cedric's voice is. I think Josh was a perfect casting from Nickelodeon, and I really enjoy his voice. Alright, well, this will probably be my last video about ranking the Winx voice actors. If there are still more characters you guys would be interested in seeing, I might do a part 3, but honestly, I think I would be scraping the bottom of the barrel at that point. And as always, feel free to check me out on Instagram and TikTok. It's the same username for all 3, and I love chatting with all of you guys. If you liked this video today and want to see more content in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you soon. Bye!